present here. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Aruna Palta Ma'am, VC Hemchand Yadav, University Durg, our respected Principal Ma'am and patron of this workshop, Dr. B.N. Mishra, our invited speaker for today, Ms. Preeti Khare, a life transformation and relationship coach, our head of the department, Dr. Anita Shankar Ma'am, and convener of this workshop, all the faculty members and participants who have joined this workshop virtually. I welcome you all to this virtual workshop on tapping into your inner world and managing relationships. आदरणीय वीसी मैम कुछ अपरिहार्य कारणों की वजह से इस वर्कशॉप में नहीं जुड़ पा रही हैं, परंतु उन्होंने अपना आशीर्वाद और बेस्ट विशेस हमें भेजी हैं. थैंक यू सो मच मैम. इस वर्कशॉप के लिए हमने ये थीम क्यों चुनी, इस पर मैं थोड़ा सा प्रकाश डालना चाहूंगी. आज की इस भागदौड़ भरी जिंदगी में हम सुबह से शाम तक अपने कार्यों, अपने कर्तव्यों को बखूबी निभाने में इतने ज्यादा व्यस्त हो जाते हैं कि हमारे पास अपने आंतरिक मनोस्थिति को देखने का वक्त ही नहीं होता. हमारे आसपास जो कुछ भी घटित होता है हम उसको देखते हैं, महसूस करते हैं, उस पर अपनी प्रतिक्रिया भी देते हैं, पर शायद ही हम कभी थोड़ा सा भी वक्त इस चीज के लिए निकाल पाते हैं कि हमारे अंदर क्या चल रहा है, हमारे मन की स्थिति क्या है. हम उसे जानने की कोशिश भी नहीं करना चाहते हैं कि हम जो सोचते हैं वो सही है या नहीं. हम में से ज्यादातर लोग बहुत अच्छी पोजीशन पे हैं. We all are at a very good post and we have achieved so much in our lives. और हम ऐसा सोचते हैं कि हम परफेक्ट हैं, और इनर वर्ल्ड में भी और आउटर वर्ल्ड में भी. लेकिन क्या हमने कभी ये सोचा है that we can always create a better version of ourselves? हम अपने आप से भी बेहतर इंसान बन सकते हैं जैसा कि हम आज हैं. हम अपने आउटर वर्ल्ड को हमेशा बेहतर बनाने की कोशिश करते हैं, चाहे हम घर को डेकोरेट करते हो, स्वयं के लिए महंगी वस्तुएं लाते हो, लेटेस्ट गैजेट्स लेते हो, पर क्या ये वस्तुएं हमें आंतरिक खुशी, शांति और सुकून देती हैं? ये सभी मटेरियलिस्टिक कमोडिटीज हमें कंफर्ट तो दे सकती हैं, पर मन की शांति और खुशी नहीं. मन की खुशी हमें तभी मिलती है जब हमारा इनर सेल्फ स्टेबल हो और हमारे रिश्तों में सामंजस्य हो. So this workshop is all about looking inside ourselves and managing our relationships. First of all, I would like to invite my head of the department and convener of this workshop, Dr. Anita Shankar Ma'am, to throw light on this workshop. Dr. Anita Shankar Ma'am.
Respected Chief Guest Dr. Aruna Palta Ma'am, Vice Chancellor, Hemchand Yadav University Durg, our Principal and Patron, Dr. B.N. Ma'am, guest speaker of today's workshop on Relationship Management, Preeti Khare Ma'am, Organizing Secretary of this workshop, and IQAC Coordinator, Dr. Neelu Srivastav, and all the participants. I, on behalf of our English department, take this opportunity to welcome one and all to this workshop on a relevant topic for the present times when we are trying to adapt to a new normal involving quick adaptation to technology, lack of physical proximity, and need to build a brighter future despite the limitations. Today's workshop on relationship management reminds me Shakespeare's famous lines from the play As You Like It. All the world is a stage and all the men, women merely players. They have their exits and their entrance, and one man in this time plays many parts. एक गीत में भी इसे बहुत सुंदर तरीके से प्रस्तुत किया गया है। रंगमंच ये दुनिया सारी, हर इंसान अभिनेता है, अपना अपना अभिनय करके हर कोई चल देता है। इस दुनिया में हमें बहुत से किरदार निभाने होते हैं और जिंदगी में उन किरदारों को बखूबी निभाना ही जीवन जीने की कला है। इस कला के विभिन्न पहलुओं पर प्रकाश डालने हमारे बीच उपस्थित हो रही हैं मैडम प्रीति खरे। आपका हार्दिक स्वागत है।
Thank you so much, ma'am. And you have so truly said, this world is a stage and we all are playing our roles. And I hope this workshop is going to help us in playing our role in a better way. अब मैं पूरे सम्मान के साथ हमारी मार्गदर्शिका प्रिंसिपल मैम और इस वर्कशॉप की पेट्रन डॉक्टर BN मिश्रा मैम को आमंत्रित करती हूँ कि वे अपने आशीर्वचन एवं इस कार्यशाला पे अपने विचार प्रस्तुत करें। मैडम मिश्रा। नमस्कार। आज के वर्कशॉप में उपस्थित मुख्य अतिथि माननीय डॉक्टर अरुणा पल्टा, वाइस चांसलर हेमचंद यादव विश्वविद्यालय दुर्ग, इस कार्यक्रम के मुख्य वक्ता माननीय प्रीति खरे एवं समस्त प्रतिभागी, आप सभी को नमस्कार और आपका पुनः स्वागत। शासकीय दिग्विजय स्वशासित स्नातकोत्तर महाविद्यालय राजनांदगांव जिले का सबसे पुराना महाविद्यालय है। महाविद्यालय की स्थापना जुलाई 1957 को हुई। इस महाविद्यालय का शासकीयकरण 26 जनवरी 1973 को हुआ। महाविद्यालय में अनेक विषयों पर अध्यापन होता है। लगभग 33 विषय इस महाविद्यालय में छात्र छात्राओं को पढ़ाए जाते हैं। महाविद्यालय के छात्र छात्राओं के लिए अनेक कार्यक्रम उनके विकास के लिए संपन्न किए जाते हैं। आज का विषय स्टेपिंग इनटू योर इनर वर्ल्ड एंड मैनेजिंग रिलेशनशिप पर आधारित है, जिस पर व्याख्यान आयोजित किया जा रहा है। मैं इसके संबंध में थोड़ा सा बताना चाहूंगी। मनुष्य के जो रिश्ते होते हैं, उसके जो संबंध होते हैं, वो बहुत मायने रखते हैं। वह चाहे पारिवारिक हो, सामाजिक हो या अन्य कोई भी। हर रिश्ते में मनुष्य अपनी खुशी को प्राप्त करना चाहता है और वह खुशी आत्मिक हो और उसे अपने अंतरात्मा से मिले, ऐसा वो प्रयास करता है। रिश्ते, संबंध अपने व्यवहार और अच्छी सोच पर निर्भर होते हैं। मनुष्य को हमेशा ऐसा प्रयास करना होता है कि वह सभी से अपने अच्छे संबंध बनाए, ताकि उन्हें अपने प्रत्येक कार्य करने को किसी भी तरह की परेशानी या दिक्कतें ना हो। अगर हमारे संबंध सभी से बहुत अच्छे हैं तो हमें हर कार्य को पूरा करने में बहुत सरलता होती है और हमारा मन भी प्रसन्न होता है। जब कार्य अच्छा होता है तो संतोष और आत्मिक खुशी दोनों होती है। मैं IQAC तो अंग्रेजी विभाग को बहुत बहुत बधाई देती हूँ और शुभकामना देती हूँ कि इतने आज इस कार्यक्रम को इन्होंने संपन्न करने के लिए बहुत कम समय में जो प्रयास किया है, जो कार्यवाही की है, उसके लिए मैं उनको धन्यवाद देती हूँ। और ये समझती हूँ कि आज का जो विषय है, आज का जो व्याख्यान है, जो भी लोग इस व्याख्यान को सुनेंगे, मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि वो अपनी आंतरिक खुशी और अपने आसपास का वातावरण और माहौल और अपनी अंतरात्मा से अपनी खुशी को प्राप्त करने के लिए जरूर उसे एक ऐसा रास्ता मिलेगा, ऐसा मार्ग मिलेगा जिसे वो पाने का प्रयास करेगा। खरे मैडम को बहुत बहुत बधाई देती हूँ, शुभकामना देती हूँ कि आपने हमारे महाविद्यालय के लिए, हमारे स्टाफ के लिए, हमारे छात्र छात्राओं के लिए और अन्य वो सारे प्रतिभागी जो इससे जुड़े हैं, आप एक अच्छा संदेश देना चाहते हैं और इस संदेश को पाकर मुझे उम्मीद है कि सभी लोग लाभान्वित होंगे। आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। जय हिंद, जय भारत। धन्यवाद मैम, आपने हमारे महाविद्यालय की संक्षिप्त जानकारी देते हुए इस वर्कशॉप के विषय पर प्रकाश डाला और मैम आपकी बेस्ट विशेस और ब्लेसिंग्स के लिए भी बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। Now I would like to invite our guest speaker for today, Mrs. Preeti Khare, to whom we all are eagerly waiting to hear. And it is my pleasure as well as privilege to introduce you all to her. Mrs. Preeti Khare is a life transformation and relationship coach. She has been a motivational speaker and a trainer all through her life. Since she also started her career as a teacher, we can better relate ourselves to her being faculty members. She works in the area of impacting people's life and motivates people to live better lives. She has had a diverse experience in teaching, training, and HR. She has done her MS from Central Michigan University, US in human resources, and she has lived in US for 15 years and has come back to India recently, and now she's working as a life transformation and relationship coach. So I'm very happy to introduce Mrs. Preeti Khare to all of you. And now, without taking much time, I invite Preeti Khare for her presentation. Over to Preeti Khare.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Honorable Dr. Palta, Dr. Mishra, Dr. Meshram, Dr. Shankar, and Dr. Srivastav. I'm truly, truly humbled to do this workshop today and be with Digvijay Autonomous PG College. My effort with this workshop today is going to be to take you more towards your inwards and really embark on the journey of looking inside and finding good solutions to your problems. Now, I will tell you a little story before, as Neelu ma'am just introduced me to all of you. And a lot of times people have this little confusion about what a life coach means. So, कल रात में जब मैंने आपका ब्रोशर शेयर किया, तो मुझे एक फ्रेंड का बिल्कुल उसी टाइम फोन आया और उन्होंने पूछा कि लाइफ कोच का मतलब तो क्या तुम जो स्विम करते बच्चे या बड़े और वो जब डूबते हैं तो उनको बचाते हो, क्या मतलब होता है लाइफ कोच? व्हाट डू यू डू एज अ लाइफ कोच? So I thought I will really address to this first before I move on to other things. My introduction has been given, so I don't need to really introduce. I just need to little bit, acquaint you with what coaching really means and from what space I'm coming from. So people actually often mistake coaching for counseling sometimes. Counseling is an area or a science wherein, you look at your past, try to heal your past, and then fix that first and then move on to the present. While in coaching, what we do is we actually start working from your present. So what we do is we actually start working from your current reality, dive deep into that reality, and really ask you very powerful questions that can really help you think what your reality is and what is the problem that you have, so as to explore various options to this little area or problem that you have. So, and then set goals to achieve them and have a more fulfilling life. So coaching is all about focusing on your present and then working towards your better future so that you can live your desired and fulfilling life. All right. So this was about the coaching. And now, as the workshop says, getting in touch with your inner self. Getting in touch with your inner self. Now, what does that mean really? हमारे पास हमेशा दो worlds होते हैं, right? We have an inner world and we have an outer world. Now we have our inner world, outer world that we all know. Outer world, हमारा outer world क्या होता है? जो people, situations और events जो हमारे आपसी दुनिया में बाहर होते हैं, वो सारे outer world है, right? Now what is our inner world? Our inner world is from the beginning, हमारे छोटेपन से, हमारे जो beliefs हैं, the stories that we have been telling to ourselves, जो different type के हमारे विचार होते हैं, right? Our thoughts, we attach emotions to our thoughts, and they become so powerful that they become beliefs then, right? And we start believing on those thoughts so much so that we have a very set story that we tell to ourselves about ourselves and also about the outer world, right? People around us, the situations around us, and everything that is surrounding us, हम उस सब से सारी जो stories बनाते हैं, it is because what we believe in, right? So let's just deep dive into what I really mean by that. Quickly, I mean, I know ये जो statistics है वो थोड़ी सी depressing होती है हमेशा, but क्यों आज ये workshop कर रही, क्यों जरूरी है हमारे लिए inner world को देखना, is a question. So let's just see what it really means. 150, if you can see on the screen, 156 countries, when the total number of countries, when they were surveyed for happiness index. तो इंडिया का जो happiness index है, वो आता है out of 156 में से it is 144, which is way behind even Pakistan and China. 264 million people globally suffer from depression. Now, India is also one of the most depressed countries in the world, and it is just slightly ahead of USA and China. Average suicide rate, it is 10.9 for every 1 lakh people. Why is it happening? Why are people committing suicide? Why are people so depressed? Why is India among one of those countries which is so depressed? What's wrong here? So normally it is around the world, right? It's across the globe that we have such a situation. But let's look at if each one of us knows how to really improve ourselves. So we improve one person in that process. If we improve that one person really takes care of people around that person, right? To give them a better environment, to talk to them with their full heart, so that they and really understand what the problem is with them, right? So the inner world and the outer world. So as I told you, that outer world is nothing but people, situations, and events, and then we seek what confirms our already formed beliefs, which means जब मैं ये कह रही हूँ इससे क्या मतलब है, इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि हम जो आउटर वर्ल्ड है हमारा, उससे जो क्यूज लेते हैं, जो चीजें हम अट्रैक्ट करते हैं, जिस टाइप के लोग, इवेंट्स और सिचुएशंस हम अपनी जिंदगी में अट्रैक्ट करते हैं, it is pretty much based on what our beliefs are, what our thoughts are, what our beliefs are, what we really think about, and have this mental chatter that is, you know, going on and on and on, right? So, and उससे फिर हमारा inner world बनता है. What is our inner world really? Anybody? What do we mean by our inner world? Can anybody tell me? And where is our inner world? Well, I would like you all to really type it in the chat box if you can hear my question. तो chat box में type कर सकते हैं आप कि आपको inner world का मतलब क्या समझ में आया. Inner world हमारा कहाँ होता है? All right. I cannot see any answers right now in the chat box, so let me just take it forward. Our inner world is here in our minds. Okay, so our beliefs, fears, our memory, our story that we tell is all inside of our minds. So where do these stories come from? जब बहुत छोटे होते हैं हम लोग, तो हमारे साथ जो भी इवेंट्स होते हैं, छोटे छोटे इवेंट्स होते हैं, राइट? आप बच्चे होते हो तो कई बार ऐसा होता है घर में और बच्चे हैं और कभी गलती से भी हमारे पेरेंट्स, हमारे माँ बाप ने कभी ये कह दिया कि तुम ये काम नहीं कर सकते, तुम ये काम तुमसे होगा ही नहीं, यू नो, तुम ऐसे हो, तुम झूठ बोलते हो, तुम गलत करते हो, तुम्हारा बिहेवियर हमेशा ऐसा ही है. All these things that we really tell our children, they stay with them. They get registered and they stay with them, especially with children. It happens very often. जिस तरीके का उनका चाइल्डहुड होता है, उस तरीके का उनके बिलीव्स और वो ही स्टोरीज वो अपने आप को बताते हैं, राइट? So if we look in this picture that you have in front of you, the input is again events, people, and situation, और उसके बाद there is a filter of past experiences. तो इसको ऐसे समझते हैं, suppose बाहर जो environment है, the outer world, right? जिन भी लोगों से हम मिलते हैं, जिन भी लोगों से हम कोई events हैं, right? जो चीज भी आ रही है हम तक, वो इस filter से होके आ रही है. And this filter is a filter of past experiences. इस filter से गुजर के फिर वो हमारे अंदर तक आती है और हमारे पास जब वो आती है तो हमें आउटपुट क्या मिलता है? In the form of strong emotions, judgments, prejudice and fear. बहुत जो विचार होते हैं हमारे, जितने जजमेंट्स हम दूसरों के ऊपर पास करते हैं, राइट? And the story that we tell. So our brain is a processor, and we can also call it as a story making machine. तो एक छोटा सा क्यू हमको मिला और उससे हमने अपने आप को बहुत सारी कहानियां सुनाई, राइट? अपने आप को बहुत सारी बातें. जब बच्चे को, जैसे मैंने आपको एग्जांपल दिया कि अगर हमने बच्चे को कहा कि तुम तो झूठ बोलते हो, तुम तो ऐसे हो, तुम कभी ऐसा नहीं करते, राइट? तो बच्चा ये जब सुनता है तो वो कहानी अपने आप को क्या सुना रहा है? मैं ऐसा ही हूँ, मैं झूठ बोलता हूँ, मैं कोई भी काम अच्छा नहीं कर सकता, and lot of other stories like that. And that's where, you know, the beliefs come from. Okay, so Needu ma'am, is there a connection issue?
Yeah, little bit disturbance, ma'am, from your side, perhaps.
Okay.
Is it just check once?
My internet connection is all right.
Little bit, not much, but it's still.
So is there a lag?
No, not lagging, but
Yeah.
little disturbance. Means it's not very clear. Voice is coming, but little bit broken. So.
Okay. So I
Can you
just Ashish is calling. Let me just quickly
okay.
take this call and fix it.
आशीष से बात कर रही हूँ।
हाँ,
हाँ।
आशीष।
हाँ, उससे बात कर रही हूँ आशीष। माइक माइक। Can you just one try without microphone to speak without earphone?
Earphone should be a problem, but let me
No,
try
no,
that.
without earphone. Without earphone.
Okay, is that better now?
Speak on.
Is that better?
Yes, perhaps.
Okay, all right. So I'll just continue from where I lost it. Okay, so so that's what I was saying, that you tell those stories to yourself as a child, right? So that's why we say that we should be very careful with what we are really talking to our children, right? So जो भी बात हम अपने बच्चों से करते हैं उसमें हमें बहुत सावधानी बरतनी चाहिए कि कैसी इस बात का बच्चे के ऊपर क्या असर पड़ सकता है, कौन सी चीजें वो उसके दिल में बहुत बिलीव्स बन सकती हैं जिसके साथ वो एक अडल्ट बनेगा, right? So whatever we tell him, he is going to carry those beliefs as an adult into his life. तो आपने अगर उसको बार बार कहा कि तुम कोई काम अच्छा नहीं करते तो बच्चा बहुत चांसेस है कि बिलीव करेगा कि वो कोई काम अच्छा नहीं कर सकता, एंड हिज esteem will be, self esteem will be very very low, right? Neelu ma'am, can you hear now?
Yeah.
Neelu ma'am?
Yes, maybe there is some network problem, ma'am, but still you are audible.
Okay, so is it breaking?
No, some background sound you can say. It's like cracking sound, just little bit of that.
Okay, it shouldn't be any, because here it is just, well, all right, so
You continue,
just to
you
go
continue.
ahead now.
Yeah, now
Yeah,
it's fine.
just to
Now
go
it's
ahead.
fine. Now it's fine.
Okay, great.
Yeah, now it's fine.
So now whenever, what happens now, to look really into this and understand what's happening, बच्चे क्यों बिलीव बना लेते हैं, क्यों हम जब बड़े होते हैं तो हम किस टाइप की पर्सनालिटी बन जाते हैं और क्यों हमको इतनी तकलीफ होती है, राइट? सो whenever there is some kind of criticism, right, there is some kinds of disapproval or rejection. तो जब कभी जैसे हमने बच्चे को रिजेक्ट किया, मीनिंग रिजेक्ट माने आपने उसको कह दिया कि नहीं अभी मेरे पास टाइम नहीं है, राइट? आपने उसकी कोई चीज के लिए बच्चा आया, आपने उसको अप्रूव नहीं करा, उसको क्रिटिसाइज करा बार बार, then what happens is that the self esteem of the child, and also that happens with the adults, that हमारी जो self esteem होती है वो बहुत हर बार एक कुछ ऐसे इंसिडेंट से प्लक होती है, थोड़ी 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 निकल के बाहर गई, थोड़ी निकल के बाहर गई. Again, I think Ashish is calling. I will have to take this call. Neelu ma'am?
Sure, sure. अभी ठीक है ना, अभी साउंड ठीक है. Now it's perfectly fine, ma'am. You can continue.
Okay. So then what happens with these? So let me explain you with an example. And if you all can see, I will tell you that hamara, all of us should be a whole. Ideally, we should be our whole self, right? Whole self means that we are feeling worthy, we are feeling good, we are feeling complete, we are feeling happy of being what we are, truly, right? But what happens is with these criticisms, with these rejections, sometimes it happens that we get very irritated, fragmented, and we do not feel whole. तो क्या होता है जब हम खुद whole नहीं feel करते अंदर, then what happens? We start relating with the outer world in the same fashion, which means that अगर हमको अंदर से जब अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है तो हमको क्या लगता है, ये भी खराब है, ये भी खराब है, दुनिया मेरे अगेंस्ट है, world is just playing against me, nobody is with me, nobody loves me. It is what we think about our surroundings, and that is what we think about the world, right? Our worldview changes because what is happening in our inside makes us really believe that the world is not okay. So let's understand with this figure a little bit. So there is something called, if you look at this, all right. So there is something I want to introduce you to, the concept of wholes and the concept of whole self, right? So when I'm talking about something with the wholes, you are like this. So if I can show you here, and if you can see my screen, can you see my screen in the camera?
Yes, it is visible, ma'am.
मैम आपको ये दिख रहा है जो मैं पेपर में दिखा रही हूँ?
No.
Okay, no problem. So
the slide. Yes.
Yeah, I think it's a site. So what happens is जब हमारे अंदर बहुत सारे होल्स हो जाते हैं, ऐसे छोटे छोटे बिलीफ जो हैं वो हमको वो पूरे होल्स हो जाते हैं, और we don't relate to the world as our whole self, right? और जब जैसे जैसे we start working on our inner self, our inner world starts becoming better, and when our inner world starts looking better to us, and our self-esteem goes up, we start feeling more complete, whole, and at peace with ourselves, then what happens is the world view for us changes, right? We start seeing the world as a better place to live in, that okay, everybody loves me, people around me care about me, and we have a much better view, and just because we change our inner narrative. जो स्टोरीज हम अपने आप को सुना रहे थे अभी तक, अगर वो हमारा स्टोरी चेंज हो जाए, वो नैरेटिव चेंज हो जाए, तो उससे क्या होता है, हमारा जो व्यू होता है वर्ल्ड व्यू वो भी चेंज, राइट? नाउ व्हाट एक्शंस डू वी नीड टू टेक देन? वी नो जब हमारा इनर वर्ल्ड इज नॉट एट पीस, we are not at peace, we remain sad, we remain fragmented, we do not get enough sleep. What do we do now? We cannot stay in this world, right? Like that, इस तरीके से, क्योंकि जिंदगी तो हमको एक ही मिलती है, we get only one life, right? So what do we do to make it better, make ourselves look more complete and whole? What actions do we take? All right, so we will talk about this and what actions do we take. So now what happens is that if we change, like I said, if we change the inside right, we do not really worry about what is happening outside much. Then we do not have to spend our energy on the things like criticizing people, criticizing the world, that people are bad, the world is bad. We don't have to spend that energy and in passing those judgments on people. We can see our energy as money, so we need to be very judicial बहुत सोच समझ के इस एनर्जी को हमें खर्च करना चाहिए, not in gossiping, not in really judging people. I think judging is one of the first things we can do for ourselves. Why? Because judgment, when we pass judgments, and especially wrong judgments on people, then what we do is we are actually not very happy from within. Because जब हमने किसी के बारे में भी ऐसा सोचा, that that person is like this person is jealous, this person does this to me, we are spending so much of our energy, and it is in return what it is doing to us, somewhere our thoughts are getting colored, right? They are also getting colored. तो मैंने अभी जैसे आपको वो बताया था कि कोई भी जो हमारा आउटर वर्ल्ड से जो इंफॉर्मेशन आ रही है, अगर हमने किसी को देखा और कुछ भी आउटर वर्ल्ड से आने वाली इंफॉर्मेशन को अंदर लेना चाहा, और वो इस फिल्टर हमारे पास्ट एक्सपीरियंसेस से आ रहा है, तो हमने जैसा लेंस इस फिल्टर में लगाया है वैसा ही दिखेगा. So if we have a blue lens, we will see color blue. If we have a rose lens, we will see color pink. If we have a good lens, obviously we will see everything good around us, right? So that's what we need to change this lens. We need to have a better filter for ourselves. And for that, we need to start really looking inside, right? We should not choose to play a victim mindset, which means हमारे साथ ही होता है, ये सब कुछ गलत हमारे ही साथ हो रहा है. Why it is that सब लोग घर में मेरे ही पीछे पड़ते हैं, right? All these things, these stories that we tell, that क्यों ऐसा होता है कि तुम हमेशा मेरे ही पीछे पड़ते हो, तुम किसी और को कुछ नहीं कहते, right? All these things, this is just simply victim mindset. We like being in this mindset because we think that we, the stories that we are telling to ourselves and that we have told, वो उसको confirm करता है. अभी तक के जो हमारे belief थे, वो उसको confirm करता है. That is why we keep thinking on the same lines, right? So now what we need to do is that we need to come out of this victim mindset. Do not make anybody else a villain, right? हम सबको अच्छा लगता है किसी और को हम बोलें कि ये इसकी वजह से we are suffering, तुम्हारी वजह से मेरा आज ये हाल हुआ, right? ये all this victim, and then we make somebody else villain and feel good about it कि मैं ठीक हूँ, ये सब इनकी वजह से. So now again, let me just really tell you a little personal story that I would want to take you to. So I was one of those also some time back, till the time, a point in time, जब मैंने अपने आप को सही सवाल पूछना जब शुरू नहीं किया था, तो तब तक मेरा भी mindset वैसे ही था. I used to think जो भी personal stuff, जो भी professional stuff, whatever is not going right is because of somebody else. I could see कि मेरी कुछ गलतियां हैं, बट ज्यादातर आप गलती किसके ऊपर दे रहे थे? वर्ल्ड के ऊपर, किसी और के ऊपर. तुमने मेरे साथ ऐसा किया. I was not at peace at all. और मैं रोती थी, मेरे को बीपी हो गया, मैं रात भर सोती नहीं थी, because of various personal stuff that was going. आप सबको I think सब relate कर सकते हैं, आप लोग सब प्रोफेसर्स हैं, आपकी लाइफ में बहुत कुछ होता है on the personal front. आपके कॉलेज में peers के साथ कई बार there are issues, right? कई बार subordinates के साथ there are issues. We all have our own things, but what we don't know is we really do not know how to objectively look at those situations. हम हमेशा यही सोचते हैं कि नहीं, उसने हमारे साथ गलत किया, ये बाहर वाले ने गलती करी, इसलिए मेरी ये स्टेट है. हाँ, फिर उसके बाद मैंने जब अपने आप से ये क्वेश्चन पूछना शुरू करा कि दिस स्टेट दैट आई एम इन, जिससे किसी को कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ रहा, चाहे वो आपके घर वाले होते हैं, चाहे वो आपके बाहर वाले होते हैं, किसको फर्क पड़ता है सबसे ज्यादा? आपको खुद को फर्क पड़ता है उससे. आपकी हेल्थ खराब हो रही है, आप अपने आप के साथ पीस में नहीं हो. दिस वन लाइफ दैट यू हैव, यू आर नॉट डूइंग जस्टिस विद दैट. Now then you begin to ask yourself the right questions and say, मैं अपने आप पे के साथ क्या कर रही हूं? This is not the life I am leading anymore. You need to tell yourself with lot of affirmation that I am not living this life anymore. I have to make a change here. These affirmations are very important, right? Affirmations क्या होते हैं? जो बात, जैसे मैंने आपको कहा कि बार बार जो हम अपने आप को कहते हैं वो हम अफर्म करते हैं, right? And according to, I don't know how many of you are aware of the universe's law of attraction, but universe's law of attraction, it says what you say multiple times to your side, to yourself gets amplified. It gets expanded, right? जो बात बार बार आप करें, जिस चीज पे आपका फोकस है वो चीज एक्सपैंड करती है, राइट? वो ही होगा जो आपके थॉट्स हैं. Let me explain you differently. So our thoughts have a lot of power. They're very powerful. And once we engage emotions in these thoughts, they become super powerful. And all the drama that happens around us, right? ये अच्छा नहीं है, वो अच्छा नहीं है, ये तकलीफ, वो तकलीफ, is because we attach very strong emotions to those thoughts and then take actions based on these emotions, right? Time and again we keep telling ourselves the same thing and then it sort of expands. वो ही चीज होती है जो हमने बार बार कहा. For example, I will give you another story. I wanted to complete my story that once I started talking to myself that I am not living this life, I have to make a change. Then I started affirming, I am powerful. I am whole. I am complete. I don't care what other people have to say about me. Nobody can let me down, right? All the story and all the narrative, I had to change completely. I am going to be successful. I am successful. That's what I started telling myself. I am happy. Okay. So then on the top of that, you need to start working on your inner self, which is you start meditating, doing all good things, start meditating, which makes you calm. You start affirming, say those affirmations every day, right? Then start working on people around you, try positive things, try saying all the positive statements that you can say to the people around you, right? So far we think कि ठीक है ये relations हैं हमारे, इन कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. We take each other so much for granted that it's not necessary for us to go and really tell people that how important they are for us, right? We never go and tell, okay, for somebody that I love you. We don't tell that very often. It is all implicit. हम सोचते हैं कि ये तो हमारे घर वाले हैं, इनको पता है ये बात कि प्यार करते हैं हम उनको. But we need to really go and with a very clear intention and affirmation, tell people that you really care about them, that you really love them. And they need to be told time and again. Think about it. हमको कोई कहता है ऐसा तो कितना अच्छा लगता है, right? Similarly, and then we only say to our kids sometimes, but not to the adults. But why not? Really, why not? Right? So another story that I was telling you, that what we tell ourselves is what we become. So there is something called self-limiting belief, which is what the idea I want to introduce to you, that the thoughts that we have, the story that we tell to ourselves is what our belief is. Sometimes just telling to ourselves, ye mere se nahi ho payega. This is too tough for me. I am a professor, I can deliver the lecture, but somebody delivers better than me, right? Much better than me, and I am not as good. I am not enough. I am not whole. We keep on telling, and these are our self-limiting beliefs that keep holding us back from moving any further in life. They keep holding you back. वो आपको आगे जाने ही नहीं देते. The moment you want to step further, your limiting belief, the story that you have told to yourself, वो सामने आती है. वो आपको बताती है, नहीं, you are not good enough. No, I can't do this, right? So you need to then get rid of these self-limiting beliefs. And that's where your affirmations come in. That's where the self-talk that you have, the mental chatter that you have has to be positive. It has to be something that has to be aligned with what you believe or what you want to believe in life, that you want to become. Right? Another story that I wanted to tell you about the self-limiting belief is coming from, there is a child, right? And there is a child who has a brother, and uska brother is very, very good in mathematics, in pattern recognition, in logical reasoning, and all of that, right? The child that I'm talking about is very bright, but you know how हमारा brain दो तरीके का होता है. एक तरीके लेफ्ट हैंड साइड में अगर वो ज्यादा डेवलप्ड है किसी में, तो हमारी मैथमेटिकल एबिलिटीज ज्यादा अच्छी होती हैं, लॉजिकल रीजनिंग ज्यादा अच्छी होती है. while if our right brain is more developed or is works better for us, तो हमारा creativity side is better. So this child that I'm talking about is always very creative, a theatrical person, बहुत, you know, skits karna and creative writing karna, a lot of story writing. He's a very creative person. The other guy, his elder brother, is not so much of a creative person, but has a mathematical bent of mind. Now, from the very beginning, what happened to this smaller child, younger brother, is that he kept hearing this. Nobody told him that you are not good. But what he kept listening was, it was all unintentional, right? पर वो उसने सुना क्या, ये बच्चा बड़ा वाला जो है उसकी मैथमेटिक्स बहुत अच्छी है, वो उसका लॉजिकल रीजनिंग बहुत अच्छी है, ये बहुत शार्प है, इसकी आईक्यू हमने टेस्ट करी, उसका ये आईक्यू ऐसा है, राइट? साइमल्टेनियसली हम उस छोटे बच्चे को भी कह रहे हैं कि तुम्हारी क्रिएटिव राइटिंग बहुत अच्छी है, तुम तो थिएट्रिकल पर्सन हो, तुम्हारी you know, these abilities which are on the art side, you are so good with talking, with speaking, with debate, with competitions like that. लेकिन बच्चा क्या रजिस्टर उसने कर लिया अपने अंदर इस कि मैं मैथ में उतना अच्छा नहीं हूं, राइट? he got psyched और उसने क्या किया कि वो जब भी मैथ अटेम्प्ट करने जाता था तो he would get psyched in the paper, not get such good marks, right? Each time that thing happened. Now, the mother got really curious. Mother thought that इसको मैं उतना ही बल्कि और ज्यादा पढ़ाती हूँ, और ये क्या बात है कि ये मेरे सामने सब कुछ करता है अच्छे से, और उसके बाद वहां जाके he just gets psyched और कुछ नहीं कर पा रहा है. So what is the problem? The mother, instead of really concentrating on the teaching part, started concentrating on the psychological aspect of it. You know, maybe because what she got to hear from the child was, नहीं मैं अच्छा नहीं हूँ, भैया बहुत अच्छा है, नहीं मैं इतना अच्छा नहीं कर पाऊंगा, भैया बहुत अच्छा करता है, नहीं मैं ये मेरे से नहीं होगा क्योंकि ये चीज भैया अच्छा कर पाता है, मैं लिख पाता हूँ अच्छा, मैं थिएटर अच्छा कर पाता हूँ, मैं ड्रामा अच्छा कर पाता हूँ. Well, it took the mother some time to really work psychologically, so much so that every day the mother would sit and talk something positive about his abilities in math. You know, that how he is no less than his brother, but he's equally capable. It's just that he is either not practicing enough, or the bigger reason is that he is having this mental chatter with him that he is not good. Time and again, when the mother told that thing to the child began to gain that confidence. Or by the time he came to 6th grade, he started showing that performance, really. You know, 99s, 100s, all were there. Now what happened? What really happened was, what the child was telling himself, he got out of that. It took a lot of effort from the mother's side, and the child was gotten out from that, right? And he started believing that I am as good in math also as I am good in my my creative side or in art subject. He started believing that and started really performing. Now, by the way, these two children are my children. This Younger one has started believing in himself. He's really started performing so well. So what happens is, even if we don't tell, but what children gather or what we as adults gather from our environment is what affects our thought process. Right? Now, I really want you all to do a little exercise with me. Is everybody with me on this? And if you can take out a pen and a paper and write, I will give you about, say, 5 minutes. And if you can write sentences with I am, just write about 25 sentences. And those sentences can be also, some of them can be facts also. Like, for example, I am a woman. I am a life coach. These are facts. So maybe some of them can be facts, but I want to really you to attempt this exercise. तो आप लोग अपना पेपर निकालिए और प्लीज उस पेन से 25 times एक अलग अलग एडजेक्टिव्स, अलग अलग जो आपको लगता है, ऐसे 25 sentences लिखिए. I am so and so. You can see on the screen. So please, if you can write those for me. And once you have written that, if you can give me a thumbs up in the chat, then I can just move ahead after 5 minutes. Okay, so if you are done, we can move. अगर 25 नहीं लिखे हैं तो कोई बात नहीं, आपने 20 लिखे हैं तो चलेगा. All right. अब उसमें is everybody done, Neelu ma'am?
Yes, 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 yes.
All
ma'am.
right. So now what I want you to really do, उसमें से जितने भी fact statements हैं, जैसे I am a woman, I am a professor, जो आपके बिल्कुल facts हैं, right? या I am a man, जो भी आपने इसी facts या I am a professor जो भी लिख रहे हैं, वो facts काट दीजिए पहले, उन पे
Okay.
crosses लगा दीजिए.
Even I am a mother, that too.
Yeah, that is a fact. Yes.
Okay. I am a lover of art, that is also fact.
Yes, that is also a fact.
Okay.
Ma'am, I am a very good boy.
No, that is not a fact. That is the adjective. that is an adjective that you have given me. I like it. I really
I am a
like
good learner, if I say.
it. Yeah, this is not a fact, ma'am. This is something that you're telling to you about yourself. This is not a fact.
I am a fun-loving person.
Yes, this is not a fact. This is about you.
I'm a music lover.
This is also about you.
Okay. This is not a fact. Okay.
I am lazy sometimes.
All right. अगर आप लोगों ने facts अगर हटा दिए हो, तो
Yes.
अब उसमें क्या बचा? जो बच्चे हैं उसमें कुछ facts के अलावा now whatever, so you have removed the facts. Now remaining whatever remains, right? Whatever remains now is what masks you are wearing. So like, for example, anybody, whoever wants, tell me few things that you have written. Other than the facts that you have cut out, tell me few things what you have written.
Madam, I am a good listener.
Mhm.
I am talkative.
Yes,
I am sensible.
right.
I am humble.
Yeah, all this. Very good. So, जो बाकी जो बचा है अब आपके पास, that is something that is the story that you have so far told yourself, right? If I write in my this thing apart from facts, if I do this exercise and if I write, I am beautiful, I am whole, I am complete, I am successful, I am a good mother, I am a listener, all these things that I'm telling myself is some adjective that I associate myself with. That is a story that you can get what kind of conversation that you have with yourself. What is the relationship that you have with your own self? All right. So if you have written yourself as a good girl, some people might have written, I am anxious. Some people might have written, I'm not successful. Some people think I am not beautiful, I am fat. That is the story that people are telling. और उसमें आपको देखना है कि कितने ऐसे I am में आपके attributes positive हैं, कितने आपके बारे में ऐसे और attributes ऐसे हैं जो कि आपके attributes नहीं है, वो limiting beliefs हैं. Like when I say I am fat, right? I am not beautiful or I am ugly. This is not true, right? This is my belief about myself. I can also believe that I am beautiful inside out, right? but this is just my belief that I'm thinking, no, I'm ugly, I'm not that good. Right? So whatever you have written tells you about how many limiting beliefs you have about your own self. And that's the time now to really work on these beliefs, really work on these beliefs and see what you can do about it. Now, you remember I was talking to you about affirmations. Everybody remembers, right? Now, affirmations kya hote hain? These affirmations, the talks with lot of conviction that you tell yourself every day, right? So you tell yourself, I am magnificent, I am complete, I am whole, I am abundant, I am powerful, I am resourceful, I sing very well, I'm healthy, I'm successful. All these I ams with all those good adjectives are your affirmations to your personality, right? What you are and what you want to become. Right? Now, if you keep on telling why the other way around, that I am not whole, I'm not complete, I am ugly, I am not a good person, I am anxious all the time, जो बात आप अपने आप से कहोगे, वो बात, this law of attraction, can you see? I am a strong believer of this law of attraction. There is this book called Secret, and Secret में जो बात उन्होंने कही वो मुझे बहुत पसंद है और मैं बहुत बिलीव करती हूँ इसमें, because in my own life story it has come, so many things have come true that I can't tell you, and that is why I'm here to talk to you, because if my stories and my dreams can be true, so can be yours, right? So the law of attraction, what it states pretty much is that जो आप ज्यादा बोलते हो वो abundantly आप उसको अट्रैक्ट करते हो अपनी तरफ, राइट? जो भी बोलोगे वही होगा. तो इसलिए ज्यादातर दिन में इसलिए कहते हैं कि आप पॉजिटिव बातें बोलो, अच्छी बातों, आप सोचो अच्छा और अच्छा बोलो अपने आप से बहुत कन्विक्शन के साथ, वैसा ही होगा. सो what one thing that I would suggest you, and I do it every day, is that in the morning when I get up, the first thing that I'm in bed, I talk to the universe. Now, universe की theory क्या है कि universe में abundance है already, it is infinite, right? और इतना बड़ा source है वो कि वो ऐसा तो है नहीं कि आपने लिया या मैंने लिया तो चीज उसमें से कुछ कम हुआ. Infinity में से कभी कुछ कम नहीं होता, right? If it is an infinite source, you can take as much as, आप भी उतने ही successful हो सकते हो और मेरी success आपकी सक्सेस मेरी सक्सेस से डिटरमिन नहीं, लिंक्ड नहीं है. अगर आप मेरे साथ सेम प्रोफेशन में हो और आप सक्सेसफुल हो रहे हो, दैट डजंट मीन आई विल नॉट बी सक्सेसफुल. Whatever I deserve and whatever I want from the universe, I will get it, right? Because it is abundance there. तो हर एक को, हर एक इंसान के लिए, हर एक हर बच्चे, हर इंसान, हर अडल्ट के लिए there is lot of scope. तो आप यूनिवर्स से वो चीज मांगो जो आपको चाहिए, एंड मांगो एज एन नॉट व्हाट आई वांट, not what I want. Another story for you now. Another story is somebody kept saying, I want this car, I want this house, I want this mansion, I want to go to America, I want to do this and be magnificent, become a great author, all these things. But what happened was universe really granted. जो मांगते हैं वो यूनिवर्स हमको देता है. तो यूनिवर्स granted all of that. But क्या मिला उसको? The want. The want. Because what we said was, what I want this, I want this, I want this. Universe heard I want it, and he granted the want to you. कि आप चाहते रहोगे, आप चाहते रहो और अच्छा चाहो, right? So you have to be very careful when what you're asking the universe has to be with a lot of conviction and the right intention. Now, knowing that universe really grants all your wish, we shouldn't be really asking कि नहीं मैं तो इसका ऐसा खराब हो जाए, किसी और का ऐसा हो जाए और मेरा सब अच्छा हो जाए. This is not. Intention makes a huge lot of a difference. Your intention should be right. And then you can ask the universe as much as you want. It is abundant for everybody, right? So in the morning, when you get up, try saying all these affirmations to the universe. In which language? Language is very important. In the correct language. I am beautiful. I am successful. I already have a house. I already have the power career that I want. I am most successful. Say that in the present continuous sentence. I am already living in the mansion that I wanted. I am already, if I am talking about myself, my affirmations included, I am going to be a successful life coach. That was the affirmation I did all through, like for 6 months in a row, right? Every time I would say, I am a successful coach already, right? And then I am going to be delivering to groups, in larger groups, talking to a lot of people, all these affirmations, and I gave myself a timeline. So when you affirm, don't affirm like I want to be just successful. Give them a lot of meaning by adding timeline to it. Add the timeline. I will be successful in whatever you want, right? I will be a life coach by June 2021. Okay, I will be graduating from a professor to a vice principal by September 2021. That's how you say your affirmations. And every day without fail. First thing in the morning, when you want to get up, you want to say that to the universe, that I am already there, and start visualizing. Start visualizing. This visualization, I mean, if you can go online and search, बहुत powerful होता है visualization. अगर आप already देखते हो, देख सकते हो, visualize कर सकते हो कि आप कहाँ जाना चाहते हैं, क्या बनना चाहते हैं, right? What do you want to really become is also what you can visualize. Suppose आपको बहुत weight shed करना है, बार बार ये कहने से कि I am heavy, I am fat, this doesn't serve our purpose. Universe is only listening what you are not, what you don't want, right? And it is giving you more of that. Now, what you have to speak is what you want. Be precise and say, I want and I am already thin. I am the most beautiful version of myself. I am the most peaceful version of myself. Say and visualize that. Go into deep meditation and say that I am what I want to be, right? Say that. So affirmations really work. And this is one thing that I really wanted to share because I have tried in my own life and I can see all of this happening. You know, I have taught my children. I would like you all listening to me, teach it to your children. It gives them a lot of positivity, a vision. They should have a vision, and also, you know, not that without working you will achieve anything. We know that. If I'm saying that I want to become a successful person, speaking to millions of people in a row and all of that, I need to work towards that. I cannot be sitting and then wishing, right? तो उसके साथ में काम करते रहना है, लेकिन हमको ये भी समझना है कि क्या चीज विजुअलाइज करनी है. जब आप विजुअलाइज करते हो, यूनिवर्स पूरा लग जाता है आपको वो चीज ग्रांट करने में. दैट इज द लॉ of universe and law of attraction. The more you say and tell the universe about what you really want, the more it will conspire to get it to you, right? Like Rumi said, what you are seeking is seeking you. तो जितनी शिद्दत से आप किसी चीज को चाहते हैं, उतनी शिद्दत से वो चीज भी आपके पास आना चाहती है, right? So on this note, we will go to the next slide. Now, these are various positive affirmations that I have on the slide. You can look at that. You can say that you can have positive affirmations for every day, different one, maybe. Something that you badly want, usko roz roz kahiye, varna I am doing my best. Today is going to be the best day of my life. I am worthy, I am brave. These are some of the examples that I am kind, whatever you want to say. It is completely your choice. You can say whatever you want, but say it with, lot of conviction and belief in it. Okay. Now, other thing is you want to change your vocabulary. As I said, not I want to be successful, but I am successful. Not I want to be a great father, a great husband, a great son. Don't say that. I want to be. Make your efforts and say, I am. I am a great father. I am a great husband. I am a great son. I am a great teacher, a professor, a coach, whatever. Okay. Now, the next thing that I wanted to talk to you is that we have visited it earlier, that you have to, for being in this positive frame of mind, what you need is to you start working on your inner self, keep your inner self and your worth intact, which means that staying to yourself and really believing in this concept that you are whole, you are complete, you can become better, but you are no less. Never let your self-esteem down. Never succumb to other people कि उन्होंने क्या कहा और आपने उसको believe करा और उस पे काम करने लगे. Another thing that I want to tell, especially the women in the, with me today, is women typically want, always they are on the go and really doing, मैं इसके लिए बच्चे के लिए ये कर देती हूँ, husband के लिए ये कर देती हूँ, in-laws के लिए ये कर देती हूँ, मेरे मम्मी पापा के लिए ये कर देती हूँ, and we women put ourselves much behind in the game, right? We never think that we are important for ourselves, right? जो कुछ हुआ, किसी ने कुछ कहा, वो ले लिया, फिर रोते रहे, फिर उसके बाद उसी के बारे में सोचते रहे, and that's how we sort of kill ourselves in the process. We are not sleeping properly. I gave you the statistics in the beginning. Statistics में एक ये वहां पर देखा गया है, more women around the world are depressed than men. Why? Because they are constantly on the go, they are doing various things and not being appreciated. Not, they're not being treated very well, because one reason for this is that they don't treat themselves well. We need to start treating ourselves well first. We cannot, हमको ये बात अच्छे से समझनी चाहिए, हम कोई भी empty cup से कुछ pour नहीं कर सकता. आपका cup अगर खुद empty है, तो आप उसमें से दूसरों को क्या दोगे? आपने खुद अगर अपना ध्यान नहीं रखा, तो आप दूसरों का ध्यान कैसे रखोगे, right? And we do not have to be a messiah all the time. मुझे इसके लिए ये करना है, मुझे उसके लिए वो करना है, पर आपको अपने लिए भी कुछ करना है, अपने लिए भी टाइम निकालना है. You need to be healthy inside out. Then only can you keep everybody around you happy. And I know it is difficult because हमारी conditioning as a woman ऐसी ही होती है. We are told कि नहीं, भाई को ज्यादा दूध देंगे छोटे से, नहीं अगर कम होगा तो भाई को ज्यादा देंगे, आपको नहीं देंगे. घर में खुद अपने लिए आप भी हमने ऐसे ही बना लिया कि जब सबसे लास्ट में सबने खाना खा लिया, तो तब हम बैठेंगे कि जो बचा हुआ है वो आप पहले खा लो, जो बचा हुआ है वो हम खाएंगे. Why do we not treat ourselves with this respect, right? We need to respect us. It's so similarly, we need to think about ways wherein you can, and it is true for men and women both. I'm not saying that men ऐसा नहीं करते हैं, या कभी-कभी किसी घर में men do a lot and they are not recognized. I'm not saying that it's only the women, but usually our society is patriarchal, right? And what it happens, we have seen our fathers, sitting and mothers serving, men in the family really sitting and being fed first, और उसके बाद सब लेडीज बैठेंगी, बच्चों को हम पहले खिलाते हैं और वही बच्चे जाके बड़े होते हैं, and then they are going to become a man in tomorrow's world, and they will treat their women also in the same fashion. So start respecting yourself, right? Wear masks, right? People love all the masks we wear, right? We are good wives, we are good daughter-in-laws, we are good, employees. People love us because हम क्या कर रहे हैं? We are people pleasing. जो सबको अच्छा लगता है वो हम कर रहे हैं, तो लोग, they are loving us. Try removing a mask. Try removing the mask of being a good mother, a good wife, a good daughter-in-law, and see what happens. Be a good husband, see what happens. They will not love you as much. So they are actually not loving you. They are loving the mask that you're carrying, the mask that you're wearing. So we need to be our own authentic self first. Be yourself. Don't wear masks. Let's not wear them anymore. Try to connect with ourselves and be what we are to bloom. Okay, so be with yourself, feel yourself complete, give yourself enough respect to get respect from others, be it a man or a woman, it's for everybody. Respect yourself. All right. All right, now I want to give you another exercise. Now, if you can see this tree, this is the tree of your life. This is just a 2-minute exercise. And maybe I think looking at the time, we can also, you just look at this tree, और ये आप घर में भी कर सकते हो. तो आपको क्या करना है, एक ट्री बनाना है, ठीक है? एक ट्री जिसमें बहुत सारे ब्रांचेस हैं, और उन ब्रांचेस में आप अलग अलग ब्रांचेस में आप लिखेंगे जो एरिया आपकी लाइफ का आपको लगता है कि आप वो ब्रांच डिपिक्ट करती है, राइट? लाइक द ब्रांच कैन डिपिक्ट योर रिलेशनशिप्स, द ब्रांच कैन डिपिक्ट योर ग्रोथ, your learning, your finances, your health. They can be different branches, right? And then what you will do is, so please pay attention, because you want to do this exercise, and it is a serious exercise, because you will get to know where you want to be in life, right? So once you have made all those branches, then उस पे आपने अलग अलग लिख दिया, रिलेशनशिप, हेल्थ, whatever area you want to focus on, उसमें उसको रेट करिए on the scale of 1 to 10. Okay, so rate them whatever, like health, you can rate whatever you are, say 3, 4, and then rate, पहले सबको उस हिसाब से 1 to 10 पे रेट करिए, फिर उसके बाद उनको रेट करिए जहां आप अपने आप को देखना चाहते हो इस एरिया में. सपोज आपका करियर है, अगर आज वो 3 पे है और कल आप उसको 8 पे देखना चाहते हो, तो सेकंड नंबर आप लिखिए 8. ओके, एंड देन आई वांट यू टू राइट डाउन, really write down that what is stopping you from reaching from 3 to 8 or 4 to 9 or whatever number may be. Okay, so I want you to write that. So what you will do, you can see on the screen, you will draw a tree, you will have your important areas on the branches, and then rate them from 0 to 10. Then you will rate them again with a different colored pen on where you want to see yourself in some time. Say, give yourself 6 months and say 6 महीने के बाद मैं इस अपने आप को मेरी रेटिंग यहाँ चाहता हूँ. And then you will write in that same paper, what will it take you to make it 10 or that number, right? तो क्या आप ऐसा करोगे कि आप इस नंबर को चेंज कर सकते हो अपनी जिंदगी में? Okay, so I want you to really reflect on this exercise. It's a very powerful exercise. It gives you lot of insights about आपके लिए क्या important है, क्योंकि हम बैठ के कभी अपने आप को ये सवाल पूछते ही नहीं है. We are in a everyday rut of life. सुबह उठे, जो करना है वो किया, और रात हो गई, and then again you don't ask these important questions to your life, that and then set yourself the right goals, right? Now then comes important area that I wanted to really touch upon was that now you can see this how this tree looks like really, और इसकी डिफरेंट ब्रांचेस पे इस तरीके से आप अपना बना सकते हैं। और नीचे आप देखेंगे नीचे रूट्स जो हैं, ये पोर्शन, यहाँ पे वीड्स हैं। वीड्स में आपको क्या लिखना है? जो चीज आपको रोकती है, जो क्यों आप 3 पे हो अभी, क्यों आप उस पे 9 पे नहीं हो या 10 पे नहीं हो, वो सारे चीजें आपको लिखनी है यहाँ पर नीचे। Okay, and that I call them weeds, and these weeds are nothing but your self-limiting beliefs that you have for yourself. तो आपको समझ आएगा अपनी लाइफ में कि आपने कितने beliefs अपने लिए ऐसे कर रखे हैं. Okay, and then you will see some surprises in that. All right, so I really want you from this session to start affirming. Then think about the law of attraction, and I've told you that what you think, really those thoughts manifest for you. जितना ज्यादा आप एक चीज के बारे में सोचेंगे उतना ज्यादा वो चीजें manifest होंगी। तो अब नेक्स्ट कभी मेरे को मौका मिलेगा और नीलू मैम और बाकी प्रिंसिपल मैम मुझे मौका देंगी तो मैं आपके साथ और वर्कशॉप कर सकती हूँ विजन बोर्ड बनाने के लिए। एक विजन बोर्ड बनाएंगे जिसमें आप वो एरियाज जो आप अभी अपने ट्री में से निकालोगे उस विजन बोर्ड पे लिखोगे और अपने सामने लगाओगे, so that you see them every day, whether it is relationship, whether it is your finances, whether it is a vacation, whether it is your success, whether it is your career, whatever. वो सारे विजन बोर्ड बनाएंगे हम वो नेक्स्ट कभी किसी वर्कशॉप में। बट आई रियली व्हाई आई एम सेइंग दैट दिस लॉ ऑफ अट्रैक्शन वर्क्स, आप विजुअलाइज करो, सोचो आपको क्या बनना है, क्या करना है और कैसा होना है। What you want to be and become is the biggest, right? And have an abundance mindset. Have an abundance mindset that think about, मतलब सेल से कपड़े लेना हम सबको अच्छा लगता है, right? हम सबको अच्छा लगता है कि कम पैसे देके सेल से आप कपड़े लो, it's all right most of the times. But कभी कभी अपने आप को वो मौका देना चाहिए जब आप जाके एक्स्ट्रावेगेंटली खर्च करके आओ और give yourself that treat. You really deserve it. You deserve that treatment to yourself. And why I am saying that is there are 2 types of mindsets. मैंने इसको हिंदी में भी लिखा है, scarcity mindset which is बिखराव मानसिकता and abundance mindset which is बहुतायत मानसिकता। आप जैसा सोचते हो abundant, बहुत abundance के साथ सोचते हो तो आपके पास वैसी चीजें अट्रैक्ट होती हैं, वैसे लोग अट्रैक्ट होते हैं। तो जिस वाइब्रेशन पे आप आज हैं, सिमिलर वाइब्रेशंस के लोग, सिमिलर वाइब्रेशंस की चीजें आप अपनी तरफ अट्रैक्ट करते हो that match your frequency. So try being on a higher frequency so that you can attract people, events, situations, things, money, resources at this frequency and not at this. Right? Okay, let's look at that. How many of you are really getting what I'm saying? Can you say yes in the chat box for me if you can resonate and really understand what is going on here? Okay. All right, now there is a little bit that I would like to touch upon the relationships, and I really want to tell you that changing your beliefs. Thank you so much for all those who are answering. Thank you so much. Okay, I can see some yeses there. And so what you need to also do is change this belief that you have. जब आपके beliefs निकल के आएंगे उस tree में, you need to really positively affirm, start affirming, come out of that limiting belief and take that first step. Take that first step. जो चीज आपको रोक रही है किसी भी चीज को करने के लिए, You know, if you are thinking about making, say, a YouTube video tomorrow, right? And something is stopping you. कि नहीं नहीं, I am not good enough. अभी मैं नहीं बना सकता ये वीडियो, अभी मैं नहीं बना सकती ये वीडियो, I will not look good, my content is not good, whatever. Take that first leap. You have to be brave. Take that first leap and just dive. Pluck out all the old stuff जो आपने अभी तक अपने beliefs बनाए हैं. Facts are fine, but can you see what beliefs do to us? We do not have to stick to those beliefs. We have to one by one pluck out those beliefs and replace them with our new beliefs. Start telling us new stories about our own selves. Right? Start telling we are capable, we are worthy, we are enough. Okay, so this is really going to change a lot of what goes on in our internal self. This is definitely going to help you. All right, so my other slide. Okay, now how do you nourish your soul? So I have to touch on certain points that really, if we are talking about inside of ourselves, there are certain things, we know, mind, body, and soul, and everything needs to be aligned. Our mind, body, and soul needs to be aligned so that you can be at peace with yourself. So there are various things, and I don't have to tell you, ab sabko pata hai, meditation does wonders. It has done wonders to me. जब आप शुरू में बैठेंगे आपको बिल्कुल समझ नहीं आएगा, बिकॉज आपका दिमाग वहां नहीं लगेगा, आपको you will not be able to do justice with that. But I really tell you that meditation does wonders. Gratitude is another thing, that in the morning have gratitude for anything that you see around you. To start from, even from the water that is coming out of the tap, you should feel grateful for that. प्रति आभार जिसे कहते हैं. और अगर सुबह के टाइम आप एक जर्नल बना लें और उसमें 5 चीजें भी ऐसे लिखें कि जिसमें I am grateful for this, I am grateful for my mother, I am grateful for my child, I am grateful for the beautiful day, I'm grateful for my life, I am grateful for this house, whatever. Any 5 things that you can think of, if you can start writing that journal, this does wonders, believe me. There is another thing, that is forgiveness. And for forgiveness, you need to really start working on forgiving yourself first, right? तो अपने आप को पहले माफ करना बहुत जरूरी है, तब आप दूसरों को माफ कर पाएंगे. और once those forgiveness and you start forgiving people, you liberate yourself. It is very liberating, believe me, trust me, it is very, very liberating. If you can forgive people for what they have done to you, you will be feeling so much better and lighter in your heart. So for yourself, start forgiving people. Do one act of kindness in the day consciously, right? So do that कि आज मैं से किसी एक को मैं खाना खिलाऊंगा, या आज मैं अपने बेटे को जगह पे पानी दूंगा, आज मैं अपने हस्बैंड के लिए उनका चादर सहा दूंगी. Whatever you think, one act of kindness every day which really is for somebody else. Then of course there is healthy body, for which you need to walk, exercise, and healthy mind. So for healthy mind, I think reading good books is essential. Reading does wonders. It opens up your horizon. You can think about lot many things instead of contemplating या ऐसी चीजों में रहना जो आपका पर्पस सर्व नहीं कर रही, ऐसी बातों से के बारे में सोचना जो आपका पर्पस सर्व नहीं कर रही, उनके बारे में सोचना नहीं है. उससे बहुत अच्छा है कि आप किताबें पढ़ो. अच्छा, okay, so reading good things also helps. Now, as I said, first forgive yourself, because you should be in a no guilty situation. जो चीज हो गई, say sorry, move on. Think about it, contemplate, affirm to yourself that probably next time I will not do it, and express that to the person who you think who deserves that sorry from you, and then move on, right? उसमें you don't have to beat yourself up for that कि नहीं ये मेरे से क्या हो गया, ये क्या हो गया. No, move on. Forgive yourself and move on. Once you forgive yourself, you will be able to forgive others, right? All right. Now, the good news is that we can change all these self-limiting beliefs, as I told you, by practice, by changing your internal state, by meditating, you will be able to take care of all these self-limiting beliefs and then be a better version of yourself. Let's quickly touch a little bit on the relationships, which is, of course, the need of everybody. We all want to be loved, and love is not when you look for love and think, yeah, that person has to be a perfect person to be loved. It's seeing that imperfect person perfectly is what love is. When you can unconditionally love people, it is when you know what real love is, right? So you need to go beyond the regular definition of love, which is I just saying, not really intending to love and saying कि अगर तुमने ऐसा किया होता तो तब मैं तुमसे प्यार करूंगी, और या तुम ऐसा नहीं करते हो इसलिए मैं तुमसे प्यार नहीं करती हूँ. So this is all conditional. Now, unconditional love is when you can see beyond this and say, yeah, person is imperfect, but I still love that person. I still love you beyond all of this. And for that, your emotional love tank should be full, which means आप अपने अंदर बहुत सिक्योर और होल फील करना चाहिए आपको. You should be very secure within yourself and your relationships with other people. Empty tank is usually criticism, it leads to misbehavior and withdrawal. अगर आपका खुद का टैंक जो है इमोशनल लव टैंक वो खाली है, आप खुद अंदर लोग आपको लगता है प्यार नहीं करते, आप और आप लोगों से बहुत ज्यादा प्यार इसीलिए नहीं कर पाते बिकॉज आपका खुद सिक्योरिटी नहीं है आपके अपने साथ. जो आपका अपने साथ रिश्ता है वो बहुत अच्छा नहीं है, इसलिए आप दूसरों को ज्यादा इसमें से नहीं दे सकते, राइट? Now, there are various types of relationships. There are family, there is friends, there is romantic relationship, and in organizations, we have groups, teams, bosses, subordinates, peer, etc., etc. We have different types of relationships, but typically the rule for relationships remains the same. There is some love language that I call, and there's some apology language that we need to know. So love languages, as I have told you, that no matter what, once in a day, go and say that to people. Say that to people, whether it is your son, it is your husband, it's your wife, your mother. Say that to people once in a while or in a day, if you can, even better. Say that I love you and I love you for this reason. If you can tell them that this is what I love you for, even better, right? Tell them that how much you care. And also, love languages are different for different people. Sometimes for some people, it will be keep saying that to me, that I love you, or holding my hand once in a while and telling me how much you care for me can be something that I like, or this is the way I relate to love. But for some other person, it can be a different way that he sees love or she sees love, which means अगर आपने किसी के लिए जाके उनकी टेबल साफ कर दी, या अपने हस्बैंड के लिए उनकी गाड़ी साफ करवा दी या साफ कर दी, it is an act of love, and that person relates to that more than really holding his hand or you telling him that I love you, right? That definition of love can be different. So talk in their language. If you know that your husband or your wife or your mother or your mother-in-law, if that person likes certain type of language, please try to speak in his language. That's when your love will be appreciated. Now, building good relationships is also about building healthy boundaries. I think we all understand कि boundaries हमको अपना कहीं पे एक boundary बनानी पड़ती है, and they should be healthy. We don't have to scream, yell, and tell people कि मुझे ये चाहिए और मुझे ये नहीं चाहिए, right? मुझे ये चीज अच्छी नहीं लगती या मेरे ट्रिगर ये है, मुझे जब तुम ऐसा कहते हो तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है, मुझे ऐसा सुनाई देता है, right? We don't do it very often. We don't have those conversations with our partners, with our children, with our employees, with our bosses. We don't have those conversations, and these are extremely important conversations to have. अगर आपको पता चल रहा है कि बार बार एक conversation trigger करता है, right? That means that behavior or that act of yours is not being appreciated. Like आप बच्चे को बार बार, हम अपने बच्चों को कहते हैं ये कर लो बेटा, ये कर लो, अब तुम ये कर लो, अब तुम, जब बच्चे बड़े होने लगते हैं, they don't like being told, right? And adults of course don't like being told. I remember my husband has told me by many times that when I will tell him कि अरे अब तुम्हारे गले में तकलीफ हो रही है तो तुम बीचा राइन के गार्गल कर लो, तुम ये कर लो, तो he looks at me sometimes and he laughs and he tells me, when will you stop being a mother to me? You don't need to be a mother to me. So which means that he doesn't like those instructions. आप अपनी तरफ से आपका प्यार है and you're telling just because you want to take care of that person, but other person is hearing it very differently. And that's why I'm saying that try to understand their language. What is the language that they appreciate? And for that, you need very high EQ, which is emotional quotient. जब आपको ये समझ में आने लगता है कि सामने वाला क्या चाहता है और उसकी लैंग्वेज में बोलने लगते हो, that's when your emotional quotient is very, very high, right? You can listen and understand and appreciate what the other person wants, right? Now, in the work environment also, you have to see that between the bosses, between the subordinates, and between the peers, how do you need to really address to various situations. बहुत clear boundaries अगर आप set कर देंगे कि this is what I want from you, this is what I would like to see from you. And as a subordinate also, you can set a boundary and say very positively to the other person that when you yell or when you speak loudly or when you insult me in front of somebody, I just am shut off. So maybe you want to tell me everything personally, call me separately, right? So you can set those very healthy boundaries which can give you that benefit of doubt, right? So setting those healthy boundaries is extremely important and for good relationships to work. I will also, end with one more thing, that relationships are something that, your happiness is tied around them, right? Your happiness is all tied around them. So if your happiness, your relationships are not in place, if you are not in healthy relationships with your children, with your better half, with your employees, with your bosses, you will not be happy from within. So, give that quality time in these relationships that are important. Let's not, use the phone and simultaneously say, aa jao, tumko bolna hai jo, wo bol do. Whether it is your significant half, whether it is your child, whether it is your, in-laws, your mother, whatever. So we need to give full attention to that person to be really, let that person feel loved, right? So, and then of course, physical touch is nothing matches that, whether it is your children, your mother, your parents, your somebody else. If you can really reach out to them, hug them and touch them and tell them that, how much they mean to you. Or if somebody else does a simple act of kindness, कुछ ऐसा उन्होंने ऐसा काम किया और आपने उनको, with that touch or a hug, if you can tell them that, how much this means to me, that last minute मैं भाग रही थी और जॉब के लिए जा रही थी और आपने मुझे एक ग्लास लाके पानी दिया, that means so much, thank you so much. So that gratitude, that touch, and those acts of service, these are all, very important components of love. And of course, nothing beats your being 100% present. The other thing is you should also know apology languages. Sometimes we saying sorry, we think that we are done, कोई काम गलती करी, और बच्चे बहुत ज़्यादा करते हैं, बड़े भी करते हैं, but sometimes, saying sorry and getting away with it is not the thing. You need to accept that and take the responsibility for that and say, I was wrong. Feel that, have that intention, right? And say that I was wrong. And then what can I do to make it right now? Sometimes this works, just going and saying, what can I do to make it right now? Something has happened. Fair enough, I can't go back, but what can I do to make this right now? How can I fix this, right? Then also genuinely repenting and saying that, okay, I will not do it again, works wonders, because people see कि आप किस intention से आ रहे हो, right? People see that and they grant you that forgiveness, and it is again granting forgiveness and receiving that forgiveness. Both are equally liberating. So it will be very nice if you can forgive people, and really, if you have done some mistake, apologize, right? Now, there are one more thing that was, very, very important, and especially in the professional areas, it becomes very important. When you generalize things, it is like using this language always and never, right? हम अपने बच्चों के साथ भी कभी कभी करते हैं, पर ना हमें बच्चों के साथ ऐसा करना चाहिए, और ना आपस में, या when you generalize things using always, आप हमेशा ऐसा करते हो, आप कभी ऐसा नहीं करते हो, मुझे हमेशा आप हमेशा डांटते हो, बच्चों को ऐसा लगता है. Instead of using always and never with them, try using words like when, what, and how statements. That when did this happen last, and when did I see you really behaving in the right manner? What did you do to make me feel that yes, you are not going to repeat this? Things of this nature. Also, when you are giving feedback, it becomes very important when you're giving feedback in the profession. So जब कभी भी हम as a seniors वो देते हैं, try to keep it a feel good sandwich, which means कभी भी feedback देते वक्त आप एक negative को दो positives के बीच में रख के बोलें तो बहुत फर्क पड़ता है. So before really calling somebody and telling that तुमने ऐसा किया, this was not good, आपने ऐसा किया, आपकी क्लास में आप बैठे हुए थे, आपको खड़े होके पढ़ाना चाहिए, and if you had to give this feedback in your context, then instead of just going straight with the negative to that person, try saying, I have gotten very good feedback from the class about you, and it has been wonderful to have you around. आप बहुत अच्छा subject expert हैं, right? And then you put in a little negative statement, which is a feedback, negative feedback, not a negative statement, that, I would appreciate if you can become better or stand up and teach. And then give again another positive, that मुझे आपकी ये बात बहुत पसंद है, आपका मैंने पिछली बार बच्चों की copies देखी, they were amazing, and somebody came to me and told that, wow, this teacher is amazing. So this feel good sandwich really works. So if you can include the negative in between the positive, that is very, very helping, right? So try using this as bosses, as हम सब किसी ने, and अपने बच्चों के साथ use करिए. Whenever we are giving a feedback, बच्चों के साथ, अपने spouses के साथ, किसी के भी साथ, whenever you have to say something and really want to that to be addressed, तो आप पहले उसको positive feedback दो. So like if a husband wife scenario, right? So instead of telling him that तुम मुझे जब हमेशा मेरी बात काट देते हो, तुम कभी सुनते नहीं हो मेरी बात, हमेशा फोन देख रहे होते हो, right? If I have to say this, I know that this bothers me, but अगर मैंने इसी तरीके से कहा तो सामने वाले को लगता है कि वो blame है, that the person who's telling me वो कभी आपकी बात को वैसे नहीं सुनेंगे जैसा आप चाहते हो कि इसमें कुछ फर्क आए, उसमें कुछ चेंज आए, उसमें कुछ नहीं आए, right? But if you can say that this is how I feel, not about this is what you do, this is how I feel. If you can bring yourself and talk about I more than you can talk about you, right? So saying that, when yesterday night, जब तुम रात में मैं तुम्हें कुछ बताना चाह रही थी और तुम उस टाइम पे फोन देख रहे थे, I did not feel that I was heard. I felt that I am neglected. Instead of saying that you ignored me, you neglected me, think about it, how to a subtle difference in the language can have such a huge impact, right? So changing your language does make a difference, especially in the professional scenario. It makes a hell lot of difference. All right. So this was regarding the communication side of it, and that's pretty much it. I think what I needed to tell you in terms of communication, love, relationships, and the message that I would want to leave you all today with is going to be that please ask yourself genuine, authentic questions. Even for how you would like to be treated, ask yourself how really I want to be treated, and then try treating others. How I want to be respected. Ask yourself that question. How I want to live my life. Ask yourself that question, and go from there. So big thank you to all of you for really giving me these patient ears. And in future, if I get an opportunity, we can really do a lot of workshops together. There is something very nice called decluttering, something very nice that I work with. This is about the vision boards, and all of that we can do if we can work in future. I will also send you all in the WhatsApp group session. To book a session, there is a link, and the first 7 people who can fill that form today and send it back to me, I will be giving you free sessions, breakthrough sessions for the coaching. Wherever you feel stuck in life, whether it is relationship, whether it is your career, whether it is some kind of problem that you are having, health, whichever issue you have, you can book a breakthrough session with me, which will be free, and it will be given to first 7 people. I am going to be posting the link very shortly in the WhatsApp group, and reach out to me in any time in future if you want to book this session also. And we can work together and see where you are stuck and where you can work on to live a more fulfilling and enlightened life. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Preeti ma'am, for giving us such a wonderful session. We are really overwhelmed to get so much from you in making our life better, in having peace of mind, in making our relationship better, either with the family members or at our workplace. I'm sure this session is going to transform our life to a certain extent in a very positive way. Thank you so much, ma'am. And now I request my colleague and my younger sister, Anita Saha, Dr. Anita Saha, to present vote of thanks to you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Very pleasant and positive good evening, one and all. Honorable guest speaker, Preeti Khare, madam. Our respected principal, Dr. B.N. Mishra, madam. The convener of this workshop and the head of the department, Dr. Anita Shankar, madam. The organizing secretary and the coordinator IQAC cell, Dr. Neelu Srivastav, madam. The members of Department of English, all the participants. It's my privilege to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks in this occasion. And I, on behalf of the whole organizing team of this special workshop, and on my own behalf, extend a very hearty vote of thanks to our eminent speaker, Preeti Khare madam, for gracing us with such wonderful thoughts. Ma'am, we are really inspired by your great words. I want to mention a few out of a lot that you gave us, ma'am. Like we should not choose, especially I want to mention, we should not choose to play a victim in our lives and make someone else a villain. So that thing, we will really make sure that we are not going to do that. Ma'am, we have filled us with positivity. We have become full of positive thinking. And I promise you that I will first fill to try my own empty cup, and then I will try to pour it into somebody else's. And the idea of abundance mindset that you try to inculcate inside us, that is really this suggestion we are really going to follow, ma'am. And there are many more. So thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for everything, all your speech, all your presentation. That and one more, I would just like to ask you, ma'am, please share your presentation with us, because that is really going to be useful for all of us. And I may like to express my sincere thanks to Dr. Neelu Srivastav madam, Dr. Anita Shankar madam, for having planned this wonderful workshop. I'm also very grateful to respected principal ma'am for supporting and encouraging us to organize this workshop. And then I also express my sincere thanks to all the participants to take part in this workshop and make it a success with your presence. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, one and all, and thank you for